what's up, you guys? My name is CyberLife, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. Now, before we continue on this episode, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for helping getting the channel to a little over 100 subscribers. It really means a lot to me, and thanks to you guys. You guys help keeping me inspired to keep on creating more content for you guys out there. And this is my thank you to you guys back. But anyways, back to the episode at hand. So, in the previous episode, we did a showcase of LEGO Bendy and the Ink Machine Wave 5. So now this time, I finally got to finish up Detroit Become Human Wave 2. So here we have Josh, Luther, blue-haired Tracy, Simon, Sumo, and as a bonus, Jacksepticeye in the style of Detroit Become Human. And all of these guys I managed to get done yesterday. If you recall from my latest Spiral Let's Play, I said that I would film the episode at nighttime, and then I upload it in the morning. That way, it give me more time to not only do the video for Sunday, but also finally get around to finishing these figures up. So, as you guys know the whole drill, we're going to take these minifigures one at a time, do a review on them, explain my process, why I went with this route, and go from there. And here's a special little intriguing deal to keep you motivated. At the end of this video, I will include a little teaser for one of the next big projects I'm coming out with. I will not say the name of the project, but just leave it to your guys' imagination to guess what exactly it is. So, without further ado, let's get the show on the road! Alright, and to start things off, of course, first we have one of Jericho's survivors, Josh. This one was the first one to get done, and probably the easiest out of all of them, mainly because his outfit was very simple. It was a very simple design of how I chose to go with this route. So, as you can see on the back, it's just completely black, and over here, he's got, the red shirt underneath, and the black over top. I chose to go with this route because it's, the outfit that he mainly wears, and pretty much because out of all of his characters, well, aside from Connor, he doesn't really change outfits at all. Well, it's pretty much the same. The only thing it really adds to is the overcoat. Well, it's not even an overcoat, it's more of a vest. But anyways, the legs, I just, painted on, the navy blue. They can sort of bend, but as usual, I kind of gotta be careful with it. He's got black shoes. The skin tone, one of the nice things about this minifigure is that, the minifigure I chose for this one, already had the right skin tone, but he did have, some facial hair, so, I took, some of the dark brown, and painted, repainted, the arms, and then repainted the face. As you guys know in the past, as I've mentioned this so many times, in the past, I've always been careful about when it comes to painting faces, because if the face is what I want, but the skin tone isn't correct, I have to be very, very careful about it. And this one was a little bit of an exception, because since it was already in the skin tone that I wanted, it was kind of easy to do. This hairpiece, I don't know, which minifigure it was from. It's probably from an old one that I busted apart, but it's very similar to, the new, Finn and hairpiece from the Star Wars sets. I almost thought about, putting this hairpiece on for, Marcus, but Marcus has, a much shorter buzz cut, so I just painted, his hair on. This one, he was an exception. Josh has a bit more hair than Marcus, so I put that on as well. Well, and yeah, pretty much that covers this minifigure. Again, this was pretty much the easiest one. The other ones were a little bit trickier, but this one, it was definitely the easier one to get out of all of them. So, let's go ahead and move on to our next minifigure. Next up on our list, his size can be intimidating, but he can also be a friendly giant, named Luther. This one I think was the second to last one to get finished. And when making this minifigure, again with the face, this one was a lot tougher to do because the face that I had chosen for, the smile is it's very thin. I don't even know if you guys can fully see it properly, but the lines and some of the facial expressions, they were very thin, so I really had to be careful with this one. And as you can see, the body that I used is Woody. I chose this body to, represent, he's a big giant. And as you guys already know, I rarely use, giant minifigures like that. I only use those for, special occasions, and this was one of them. So, when it came to, making this one, I had to look at a couple of photos, because my memory on Luther's outfits isn't fully clear. I just knew that it was, dark colors. But, after finally getting, a good photo for me to, get a base of, what he looks like, I first painted, his torso light gray, and after that dried, I put on, the collar, like where the collar is supposed to be, where we could see like some of his neck. Then the rest of it was. I painted like the legs completely black. I don't even know like why there are bits like slowly coming off. I guess that's the way acrylic went because I had just finished this last night, so this should not be happening. But the rest of this minifigure, I mixed like a little bit of gray and then like some bits of black, like to give it like that dark gray. I couldn't fully tell if like the coats that he wears, I couldn't fully tell if it was supposed to be like dark gray or black. Like even the game photos, they didn't really give me much information. So I settled on going with just dark gray, because if I went with black, it would have blended in with the legs, and it would have been very weird to, like, try. It would, not really weird, but more difficult, now that I think about it, to, like, try to, like, tell the difference between what's the coat and what's part of the legs. Again, back to his head, I tried my best to give him, like, the shorts buzz cut that he kind of has. And it has, I know Lego now makes hairpieces like that. They did that for the Lego Ninjago movie. But I don't have any of those hairpieces, so I improvised with some molding clay. And I also like, I tried my hardest to, like, do the buzz cuts. And, there's a little bit of gray back there. That was from painting the torso. But yeah, pretty much in general, that's some of the basis of Luther. Oh, and, the front parts, those are just done in Sharpie. Because I was a little bit on a time schedule. So, not really like one of my more impressive ones that I've built, but I got the job done, and that's what counted. That's what counted at the time. So, anyways, how about we move on to one of the more interesting minifigures that I built. So, next up on the list is blue-haired Tracy. And as you can see, yes, she is not in her Eden Club uniform. We do not make content like that here on this channel. We are a safe haven. And I really do not want to do anything part of the Eden Club. So, and I'm very grateful that if you choose the path to spare the Tracys, they will go to Jericho and they will get more decent clothing. It's very nice. But anyways, with this minifigure, it was a little bit trickier to like find some photos to like based off of her Jericho outfits. Mainly because like a majority of Tracy's scenes are based off of like the Eden Club. So this one was a little bit of a challenge, but after finally finding one, it was enough to like get me started to build and to like paint on and on like some of the bases of it. It's not exactly like it, but it's the best I could do. So looking at this minifigure herself, as I'm making this, I kind of realized her outfit's a little bit similar to Kara's. Like here, let me get Kara. Kara, come here, Kara. Like, if you look at their outfits, they're fairly similar to each other, but, like, with some slight differences. Of course, like, different coats and everything, but their arms are very similar, wearing the long elbow length, gloves, which I've noticed pretty much every character wears something fingerless, a majority of all the androids. Of course, like, they got the orange inside the collars, and backs are obviously different from each other. Same thing with the pants. So again, a little bit similar, but at the same time, then completely different. And when choosing the face, this one was the closest that I could think of to like look what Tracy would look like. And if you guys see like the other heads that I had in my bin, and you guys would agree that yeah, this one's closest. Her hoodie, gosh. Or I painted on, like, the AM. I waited to do that after I painted on, like, the base. And then I painted the orange. Then I tried to get this as turquoise. But the colors didn't come out fully right. But this was as close as I could get to it. And I then painted on the AM afterwards. I then realized that a little bit later I could... she had, like, pockets, like a normal sweatshirt. So I just had to drew those on. Her legs, I couldn't tell if they were like a gray. They were like a different shade of gray or blue, so I went with a navy, and of course kept on like the black boots. So this was as close as I could get to with the source materials I had to what I thought Tracy would look like. And of course, like, she's got the blue hair. Since there's not really a hairpiece out there that would come close as to what blue hair Tracy looks like, I had to like with my Organization 13 Kingdom Hearts minifigures, I had to improvise and make the hairpiece. Yes. it was a little bit tricky of making sure, like, it was in the correct formats, and also more trickier is making sure that, like, I put on the ponytail until after getting the head on, because the head was completely separate from the body, because I didn't want any skin tone on the torso or any of the gray on the head. So transferring from like head to body was a little bit tricky, but luckily in the end I got it right. And I chose to make this minifigure because I like Brian and Amelia's live streams. They're very nice people. They're really nice, and I'm really glad. I'm glad that they got to bring their characters to life, and they just keep on doing what they're doing. So they're really amazing people. If you guys want to follow them on Twitch, I really encourage them to do that. And yeah, pretty much in general, I wanted to make this minifigure just because of it. So, how about we move on to our next minifigure? So next up on our list is Simon. Another character from Jericho, and pretty much a fan favorite. Like I see a lot of like fan arts and a lot of videos centering around Simon. So, one of the things was, and plus after I did like the best ending, I got the best ending where everybody lived on Detroit. I just decided like, let's make this character. The hair, it was a little bit, it was sort of like a little debating of whether or not to go with this one or with a different style. I'm not even sure how to describe it. It's generally the hairpiece that's mainly used for like Robin minifigures, or at least used to be used. I don't know if they still use it. But I decided to save that hairpiece for a different showcase. Okay, so maybe for like a Peter Parker minifigure. I haven't fully decided yet. But this one, I got this hairpiece from a minifigure my sister gave me. It was like a goth kid, emo kid, one of those minifigures. And I almost thought about using this one for maybe like a Stranger Things minifigure. But I've never gotten around to it. So maybe I will in the future. So I finally decided to just go ahead with this hairpiece. Plus, it would be plus, aside from the other hairpiece that I mentioned, this one would be the closest. Now, the face, once again, it was tricky to make sure I did not ruin the smile. And I ruined like the smile or the eyes or the eyebrows. I chose to go with this face because I felt like this was more timid to like what Simon is, given the scenes that we've seen him in. So this one, it was a little bit close. And sorry, there's some blue on there once again, and it came to painting the body. And is that a little bit on the head and on the hairpiece too? Oh, apparently so. So okay, I'll have to go back and fix that. And on the body, like, the back is it was pretty easy to make. All I had to do was just get, like, one look at it, and I instantly knew what to do. The arms, and I had to double-check a couple of times, to make sure that I was correct. But it was, like, white sleeves, and then, like, a line of blue, a strip of blue going down them, and then ending at, like, black elbow-length gloves. And on the front, you can vaguely see, like, a little detailing of, like, the zipper and some of the pockets where they're supposed to be. I didn't realize it until after I finished it that I accidentally got the pockets incorrect. But it was just like, I'm done. It's not too big of a deal. And of course, like, he's got, like, the blue lines on his jacket. The pants, if you can't see, like, little triangles on the legs, these legs were actually from my old Mr. Terrific minifigure from my Lego Arrow showcase. Okay, but I dismantled that minifigure. That's along with Wild Dog and Dinah Drake Black Canary minifigure. I'm not making those minifigures again. So it was one of those cases for like, you know what? It's basically the same color. All I have to do is just like either get rid of it and get rid of the triangles or paint over. And I couldn't get rid of them, so I decided to just paint right over them. So yeah, pretty much in general, Simon was one of the more a little bit complicated, but at the same time a little bit easier to do. So if you guys like this minifigure and this minifigure, thank you guys very much. And yeah, pretty much does it. And also like saves the time. Like if I ever decide to do like a Daniel minifigure, I'd mainly just do like the body and then have his head in first and in. But anywho, how about we move on to our next minifigure? So next up on our list, this one was actually a last minute decision. Sumo, the one character that's even though didn't get like very many scenes, is still a fan favorite. We like dogs. So with Sumo, this was a last minute because I didn't fully decide whether or not I was aiming to do like 5 minifigures, but I didn't know if I wanted to do any more. So I finally decided, let's do Sumo. We like Sumo. So when making this minifigure, as I mentioned from the Halloween special when I made Zero, I'm not that very good at making dogs. So this was sort of like a trial and error sort of thing. And making the body itself was pretty difficult. Like, I really had to super glue all of this together. As you can kind of see, like, if you could see, like, weird holes and weird bits of, like, where the whole thing was. And, I tried to get the fur correct. I don't know if it's exactly correct, but, when given of, like, the little, gallery that I had from Detroit, of, like, when seeing a, full 360 turn, I got, like, some bits of seeing that, like, his fur, it was kind of like a brownish orange kind of color. So I tried to, like, blend those colors in together. The eyes, I apologize for the eyes. But in order to make those things, I had to, like, first paint on, like, the black, slashes. I don't even know how it's, what am I even speaking? Sorry. But pretty much, like, paint on, like, some of the black fur. And then I took a Sharpie, did the eyes, and then took one of my small paintbrushes and do the little white dots. Of course, he's got, like, his big ears. I put those in on the head last. The snouts, again, I'm not that very good at dogs. Very good at making dogs, so I apologize that's this whole snout. If it looks kind of weird, and he's got, like, the blue collar on. I double-checked to, like, make sure I wasn't missing anything, and pretty much I got everything correct. This is pretty much Sumo. Oh, and if you're wondering, like, why didn't I just base this off of a dog model? Well, I have a couple of, like, Lego dogs, but a couple of things about them. One, they're not in the correct molds. Their heads are inaccurate. And two, they're small. And Sumo's a big dog. He's a big dog. He may look big, but in reality, he's a big, gentle giant. Much like his owner. But yeah, this is Sumo, and I'm actually really glad that I got to make this one. Because, to me, we can't have Detroit without Sumo. But anywho, let's move on to our last minifigure. And for our last minifigure, this was completely on my decision to make Jacksepticeye in the style of Detroit Become Human. And if you're wondering if this minifigure looks familiar, this is actually the Jacksepticeye minifigure I made when I did the Jacksepticeye video, Jacksepticeye showcase video. If you guys want to check that out, you can be sure you can find it in my Lego Arts Let's Play. Sorry, Lego Arts playlist, a list where I host all of my videos there. But anyways, when making this minifigure, it was actually pretty easy to do. All I really had to do was, like, I just took the minifigure, I gave it a new shade of green, and then I put it on decals, and then went there. Of course, like, he's got his armband. I didn't put on the LED, because Jack in general, he doesn't really need one. So I just kept him as it is. The green hair in there, I kept up with the green hair, because, like, it's very close to Jack. But if I wanted to, I can put on, like, this brown hair piece. It kind of looks a little bit weird of, like, when seeing the two difference, but that's okay. Okay, at least in general, he could be like Kara, for where, like, you can select skin, or, like, you can select, like, the hair colors. Yeah, okay, put this back on. Okay, and if you're thinking, like, this body looks familiar, it actually is. So, let me get Connor for a second. So, like, here with Connor, their outfits are very similar, but at the same time, not exactly. So what I did was, like with Connor on how I made the RK900 decals, I had, like, this outfit, but then I, like, recolored it and, like, got rid of the tie, to replace it up with a black shirt, and modified the back. Like, the back's still all the same, but I changed it up. So, what I did was then I took one of the earlier versions of the RK900 decals, then I got rid of all the white, and replaced it with green. Instead of, like, with the green, and on the back, of course, like, got the Android and the new logo. And if you can see it on the camera, if you guys can see it on the camera, you can check it out, on my DeviantArt page. But this is JS300. Now, reason why I went with this one is I have seen a lot of Detroit minifigures. Sorry. I've seen a lot of, like, Detroit Become Human fan arts of Jacksepticeye, and a lot of it is, like, showing Jack in Connor's outfit, but also some of it, like, showing RK800, or in some cases, like, JS800. And I thought that was cool, but what I wanted to do was keep it more up to Jack. So, I checked, like, an acronym, which people put on for like his Happy Wheels videos. JSE. So I wanted to incorporate that for like Detroit's Become Jack and put on JS300. The 300 and the 3 is supposed to represent the E, because exactly JSE100 doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. It kind of sounds like something from Codename Kids Next Door. The pants though I kept the same because I felt they were closest to like what Jack would wear in general, and plus they still look pretty good. Very good for like a non-customized decal legs. Sorry. But yeah, pretty much in general, this is still the same Jackaboy minifigure, but like with a brand new look and everything. And so, top of the morning to you laddies. My name is Jacksepticeye. I'm the android sent by CyberLife. Get it? Instead of CyberLife? Yeah? I'll just leave out the door right now. But anyways, before we end this video up, let's play up a little teaser. So, take it away, past, present, or whatever timeline I'm from.
Working at this place is officially one of the worst jobs in the world. Oh sure, I get paid minimum wage, but I'm the guy. See, I want to make sure that these robots of ours don't accidentally hurt anyone, especially after the incidents in 1983 and 1987. It should be a reason for the boss to take this seriously, and if he really wants to be so helpful, he can stop trying to convince me to bring back him with the spring lock suit. Those things are way too dangerous. But, small side note, when I was here last night getting ready to head home, I swore, when my back was turned, those robots were moving, and I made sure they were shut off before leaving.
And that pretty much does it for this episode of LEGO Arts. Again, thank you guys so much for helping on getting this channel to a little over 100 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. And you guys help keep me, building on more projects, doing more Let's Plays, the whole 9 yards. So, if you guys, want to keep helping me, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bells for notifications and all that. So, if you guys know, what the teaser is, or have an idea of what it could be about, feel free to comment below, and just wait and see for what comes next for LEGO Arts. It won't be the next episode, but it will come very, very soon, hopefully. But anyways, I'm gonna be working on, some more projects. KH Wave 5 is coming in slow. I'm sorry I don't really have an excuse for that one. But I'm coming up with ideas for, some new projects. I'm thinking about doing, some more anime, minifigures. So if you guys know, some good animes, please, nothing, really weird, really weird. But if you guys know, a good anime, and you guys want me to do it, feel free to comment below, and I'll see how I can proceed, and I'll see what I can do on that one. But anywho, I guess without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, share this to your friends, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, and here's a half of the road. Ow! Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. What do you guys, Moonrises?